Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fazli bin Nazri. I'm from DLM Part D. So, today in my video, I want to explain about the mode of transportation and documents required for the international trade. I explain the meaning of logistic and supply chain management first before I go to the international trade definition. Okay. Logistics is part of the supply chain process that plans, implements and controls the efficient and effective flow and storage of goods, services and related information from point of origin to point of consumption in order to meet customer requirements. Supply chain management is logistics taken to a higher level of sophistication, and a supply chain is the movement of goods not just from one place to another, but from the ultimate origin to the ultimate destination. It means from the start until the end of the goods being delivered. Supply chain management is the integration of the activities such as logistics, marketing, finance and sale, and also the transportation through improved supply chain relationship to achieve a sustainable competitive advantages. Okay, now I'll start with the definition of the international trade. Okay, international trade is the way to expand our business further, but after we have made the sales, there is delivery to do. It means that getting our product across swiftly is essential for customer satisfaction, and getting them across inexpensively is essential for our financial result. It means that choosing the right mode of transportation is key to an efficient and cost-effective international arrangement. For the international trade, we know that transportation is the main logistic activities that needed to complete any shipment in international. So, what is transportation? Transportation is a major contributor to the economy and a competitive force in business. It is the activity that physically connects the business to its supply chain partners, such as suppliers and customers, and is the major influence on the customer's satisfaction with the company. Transportation is among the more vital economic activities for a business. By moving the goods from locations where they are sources to locations and where they are demanded. Transportation provides the essential service of linking a company to its suppliers and customers. That is the reason why transportation is an essential activity in the logistic function and supporting the economic utilities of place and time. However, transportation is sometimes to blame for a company's inability to properly serve customers. Example of the problem is late deliveries, because it can be the source of service problems and complaints, but the product might also incur damage while in transit, or warehouse workers might load the wrong items at a shipping location. Such overshot or damage, called OSND, shipments can frustrate customers too, by leading to the dissatisfaction and the decision to buy from a competitor for future purchases. It means that transportation is really important to complete the international trade, because it's begin from the point of origin. We need to deliver the goods from the warehouse or from the start until the port and being delivered to the cargo and start moving by shipping it to the final destination or the final consumer. Okay, now these are the example of the international trade goods and services. First, natural resources. Natural resources is the exchange of natural resources such as water, wood or iron. For example, a water-rich nation that transport water to a more arid neighbor for a free. Second, materials. Material is the exchange of materials such as wood products or steel. This is critical to the global economy as some nations may lack certain raw materials. Third, component and parts. Components and parts such as a bicycle tire or computer processor. It is common for a product to contain parts from dozens of nations, such as trade is critical to the manufacturing of finished products. If we want to start a bicycle company but most of the parts suppliers for bicycle are in China, Japan and Europe, we will depend on trade to start our business. Okay, next, mode of transportation in international trade. As we know, there are 4 main modes of international transport. It is road, sea, rail and air. Each mode has its perks, drawbacks and conditions pertaining to the type of goods being exported or imported. Okay, the first one is road transport. Road transport is more flexible than the other 3 modes because it is relatively easier to track our goods, secure consignments, schedule the transport and pay the relevant fees. However, long distances are not time efficient, especially if traffic is involved, because some countries may have high toll fee charges and the possibility of getting our goods damaged is high as well. Second, sea transport. Transport by sea allows us to ship large volumes with lesser cost than the other 3 modes. The shipping containers could also be used when transporting goods by land. However, international transportation could be delayed due to the slow pace, weather shifts and inflexible routes and schedules. Okay, third, rail transport. The rail transport is environmental friendly and is often used in prosperous continents like Europe. However, rail transport has inflexible schedules and may be delayed due to mechanical malfunctions. It is happened because not all regions all over the globe have a respectable rail system, which is a huge setback for remote regions. Last one, air transport. Air transport for international trade is the quickest way to ensure product delivery and distribution. It is also the safest method of transport and we could export or import a variety of goods through this mode. However, costs for air transportation are mainly determined by the weight and partly by the distance. If volumes grow and especially if we can guarantee a daily stream of packages to keep the aircraft or these carriers occupied, then price may drop drastically. As we can conclude from the definition of transportation in the international trade, transportation can also represent a substantial cost for the business because sometimes the cost can determine whether a customer transaction result in a profit or a loss for the business. It depends on the expense incurred in providing transportation for a customer's order. Faster modes of transportation generally cost more than slower modes. So, although shipping order overseas by airplane is much faster than transporting by ship, it can cost as much as 20 times more. Such a cost difference might not justify the use of the faster way of transporting the good. So, supply chain managers must therefore carefully consider the cost of transporting goods when determining whether to move product and how to move product in the most economical manner. Okay, now I'll begin with my second topic. It is document used for international trade. So the first one is pro forma invoice. A pro forma invoice looks a lot like a commercial invoice, and if we complete it correctly, there will be very similar indeed. A specifies in the pro forma invoice, which is the buyer and seller in this transaction, a detailed description of the goods, the price, and the delivery details, including how and where the goods will be delivered and how much that will cost. Second, commercial invoice. The commercial invoice includes most of the details of the entire export transaction from start to finish. The last one, packing list. An export packing list may be more detailed than a packing list or packing slip we provided for our domestic shipments, because our freight forwarder may use the information on the packing list to create the bills of lading for the shipment. A bank may require that a detailed packing list will be included in the set of documents we present to get paid under a letter of credit. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much, and Assalamualaikum.